are so many companies within the gaming industry who do not care about what gamers have to say, which is absurd. But of course, a big problem that we've had with a lot of major studios is DEI initiatives. They are putting a checklist before genuinely good characters and storytelling, and they're hiring activists instead of passionate people who are good at their jobs. But now the Lords of the Fallen studio, CI Games, is announcing that they will not integrate DEI elements into their titles because they're just not worth it. They said the Lords of the Fallen studio, CI Games, will not integrate DEI elements into their games to maximize player enjoyment and commercial success after having observed the high commercial risk these elements can present. It has been a risk for many years now, but there are companies who continue to barrel forward with this because they think eventually it will pay off. It's like Bob Iger. I love to call it the Bob Iger effect because Bob Iger genuinely believes in the message. He really does believe that one day there is going to be this massive shift and this is the content that people are going to want. So it's okay that they're creating 5 really bad products a year, let's say, because 2 are extremely successful. And even though they're losing money on those 5 products that failed, maybe one day in the future, there will be a group of people or just people in totality who consume entertainment will eventually want that type of content. So they'll already have such a big back catalog that it will all turn out to be a smashing success for them. So it's a long-term plan for them. But, well, if you don't survive in the short term, what you're doing long term really doesn't matter. But Bob Iger, I think, really does believe in the message, though a lot of companies don't. They really just are virtue signaling because they think it's going to lead to some quick cash, but it's turned out to be the exact opposite. Look at what's happened with all of the sweet babying titles. Rocksteady went woke. They failed. Bandai Namco, I don't want to say overall went woke, but they had some woke products like Unknown Nine Awakening. That failed. Obsidian, BioWare, I mean, you name it, companies are going in this direction. It's not going well for them. But continuing on, it says, during a recent investor chat, the studio was asked about their stance on DEI in gaming. Global marketing director Ryan Hill confirmed that the studio remains committed to producing player-first video games that prioritize excellent user experience with compelling themes and characters created specifically for core and adjacent audiences. This is such a good statement. I, as a gamer, love to hear when companies respect me as a gamer and they want to produce content for me as a gamer. We have seen so much content come out over the past couple of years that has been so terrible because they don't have us in mind anymore. They have this fictional modern audiences in their sight, but the modern audience doesn't really exist. The people who could be part of the modern audience are just sensitive snowflakes who do not buy video games. When you make good content, it sells, and when you make woke content, it doesn't. End of story. Companies need to realize this, and at least some of them are. Now, I really did enjoy Lords of the Fallen from 2023. I thought it was really good. I know that they're making a sequel. That is really cool. There was none of that type of content within that game. So, I mean, it's not like they even at any point went in that direction. So I'm really happy that they're saying this. It continues on, though, with while some recent video games have taken the opportunity to implement social and political agendas within their experiences, Hill continued, the lower than expected commercial performance of some of these games show that many players do not appreciate these elements. He's not naming names, but I think it's pretty obvious to see he's talking about titles like Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, it's killed Rocksteady, lost Warner Brothers over $200 million, and then you have Dragon Age The Veilguard. While we do not have exact numbers, it seems that it has sold around 2 million copies, and that was not the smashing success that BioWare expected. You also have similar numbers for Star Wars Outlaws. Ubisoft put the most amount of money ever towards marketing a title, and it did not sell. This is what happens when you put modern terminology into a game like Veilguard with transgender and non binary and picking pronouns and having top surgery scar toggles. It's not going to turn out well for you. Kill the Justice League. You took a ditzy, blonde, funny character that people had liked, and you turned her into a raging feminist who hates all men. Like, that is not a recipe for success. As such, the studio will continue to develop experiences that maximize player enjoyment and commercial success. Now, I love hearing this statement, but I can't believe we have to hear this statement at all. You shouldn't have to sit here and research companies and have companies make statements. I should be able to walk into a GameStop or a Best Buy, see a cool game on the shelf and buy it, but it's not that way anymore, or at least it isn't for me. When I buy a game, I am researching that game. I'm figuring out the studio behind it. I'm trying to see kind of who's on the team, if there's been any controversy and how these developers or social media managers might have responded, right? I'm doing research into games at this point because I'm worried about there being, cringeworthy modern terminology. I'm worried that it's going to be a Saints Row reboot. I am worried that it is not going to be a high quality experience that is deserving of my money. And I know so many people feel the same way. And it's great that they're making this statement, but we should be able to just enjoy every single video game. But it's just not that way. Though gamers are praising this studio now because of this very simple yet effective statement. What's the most annoying thing about DEI in games? And people are saying dialogue, ugliness, which I completely agree with. The creative decision's not a priority. Everything. DEI simps. People continued on in other threads saying to maximize player enjoyment, music to my ears, gaming is healing. And it is so nice to hear that companies actually are listening to us, that we are making a difference. And that's why I say speak up when you see something you do not like. Make a post on social media, find videos that are similar and share those. Join communities. That's why I make videos, because I love video games. I love the industry and I want it to thrive. But I am very disappointed with some of the companies and the directions that they've gone in. So I think that it is important to criticize them and try to get them to listen to what we are saying. And well, we are being listened to. This is a giant win for gamers. Yeah, this title is really, really fun, and I do recommend you play it if you haven't already. I was a little sad that they took it in such a kind of generic Souls-like direction instead of that really unique slow combat in the first game, but I think that both of them are really good, and I really enjoyed Lords of the Fallen, the newest one that came out in 2023. Win, more to follow. Let all of the DEI elements be weeded out. This is how you run a studio when you have balls. DEI doesn't make profit. Just ask Square. Oops, lawsuit incoming, which is the new big meme on the block. Sounds like somebody wants to make money. Companies should want to make money, but that means that they should also listen to the customers they have, because when you listen to the demands of sensitive snowflakes on social media, you're pushing away the audience you already have, and you are not going to make any money from it. I don't fault companies for wanting to make money. I fault them when they do not sit here and respect us. Seems like they got logical people over there. 1, add X element to the game. 2, sales decline. 3, removes X element from the game. 4, sales increase. Conclusion, never add X again. Unfortunately, a lot of studios get stuck at 2 and repeat, which is definitely true. Is this legit? Damn, only 2025, only just started, and we're already winning. People saying base, big W, suddenly I want to play this title. And I'm just really happy to hear that they are focusing on making games for gamers. It shouldn't be that shocking. I shouldn't have to sit here and praise them, but I will, if that's what it takes to get the industry back to listening to gamers, the very people they need so they can continue to have jobs. So I'm wondering if they're going to make any other statements. I'm sure over the next few days there are going to be so many people who are outraged over this very simple yet effective statement. But for now, yeah, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.